more trouble in the Golden State. California government-issued IOUs have put some banks between a rock and a hard place, either take on state debt or risk losing depositors. And while some small banks are saying okay to the IOUs, bigger banks, including Wells Fargo and Bank of America, are taking a harder line.
And hello from Bloomberg World Headquarters in New York. I am the noisy Mark Crumpton.
You are, but it's Friday. We'll take it. And a very good morning from me as well. I'm Carol Masser. Well, concerns about California continue to grow as trouble for treasuries is added to the list. For more, California State Treasurer Bill Lockyear joins us live on the telephone. Bill, good morning. Nice of you to join us. I know it's a crazy time. Let me ask you, I know you're at home. I'm assuming you'll be headed to the office soon. What's kind of your first order of the day? Is it addressing these banks who are saying maybe no thanks to those IOUs anymore?
Well, we have talked to most of the big banks again to see if they would extend the deadline, which is today, to accept IOUs from their customers. And their position is pretty clear. Mostly they're not going to. Now, credit unions, Golden One and others, some of the mini community banks are taking them from their own customers. But as you had mentioned, Wells, B of A, Chase are not.
All right, those are the big guys. I mean, what happens? Help me out here. When they say thanks, no more IOUs, what does that mean for you guys fiscally, financially?
Well, for the state, it really doesn't have an immediate impact. It just means that someone is holding that check until October 2nd or until there's some budget resolution in Sacramento that allows for things to get moving again. For the person that gets it, it can be a great inconvenience and hardship, and banks have said they'll try to do other things, lines of credit and other stuff that might be helpful, right, but not to cash the check.
Mr. Lockyear, it's Mark Crumpton with Carol. It seems like the banks would be in a catch-22 here because if they don't accept these IOUs, these warrants, then they risk losing customers.
Well, there's that possibility that someone would go to one of the banks that will, and I think they're aware of that.
Right. Talk to us about how many banks do you feel, at least right now, are accepting these IOUs. Do we have a figure?
Hundreds of them are, principally the small community banks, as well as these larger banks. But that ends in most instances today. So they're really, we're less than 20% of the market is going to be accepting IOUs after today. And some are still saying, well, we're going to think about it on Friday, and maybe if one of the big ones changes their mind, then more of us will go along with that.
Bill, how much longer can this go on? And I'm just curious how often you are in touch with the Obama administration about potential help here.
Well, how long it might go on, I've given up predicting because our legislature and governor have been in such a absurd stalemate for such a long time. We have a 2/3 vote requirement to get anything done, so that adds to the problem or difficulty. But the Obama administration has been pretty clear that they're not going to do any form, even of credit guarantee, for us for our short-term borrowing needs. So we don't expect help from Washington.
Do you think that's wrong, considering how much assistance and help they've given to the financial industry, the auto industry? Pick your name here.
Well, you're right. I mean, everything from General Motors to student loans somehow got assistance. We weren't expecting cash from them other than the stimulus money that's flowing in various directions. But we were hoping, since federal mismanagement of the economy caused the monoline insurers to crash, banks not to be able to issue letters of credit, that maybe they would step in as the sort of insurer of last resort, but they have not.
How does California dig itself out of this, sir? Just a couple of days ago, Fitch lowered the rating on state bonds to BBB. Is there a bottom here? Do you see a bottom, and how do you fix this?
Well, we're down to where we were 15 years ago when we went through a similar sort of downturn and economic problem and budget crisis and so on. So it took a while, but we climbed out of that one, and hopefully there'll be a similar ability. This is a diverse, wonderful economy. I mean, we're the largest ag state in the country, and an oil state, a manufacturing state, Hollywood, Silicon Valley, financial services, tourism. The list goes on and on. So long term, we're good. But short term, this terrible problem, our structural budget deficit continues, and we've just got to fix that and have balanced budgets.
Is there any sign that there's any end to the political stalemate between the governor and the Democrats? I mean, they're obviously asking for different things. You know, the governor wants spending cuts. He's ruled out another round of tax increases. Democrats say maybe we need another tax increase. I mean, is that likely in your view?
Well, the Democrats have actually given up on a tax increase, which, I advised them to do some weeks ago, and they have now. So now the governor comes in with another list of policy reforms that really are partly related and partly unrelated to the budget situation. So that's complicated things. There's a lot of public combat going on, talking by each other, press conferences, sort of screaming and yelling,
right,
name calling. They need to get together. And I think today may be the day that more productive progress is going to be made. They've been talking to each other, but not very constructively.
But forgive me, Bill, we've been hearing this for some time. I mean, we're watching this from across the country.
Yep.
But that California economy, the sixth largest in the world, it's a big economy. When do you think we're going to bring an end to this? I mean, is it going to be soon? And do we have to end it soon?
It should get ended soon. Should have been ended before now. I think it ends fairly soon. I'm hopeful, but I've been hopeful in the past, and we missed, or they missed those deadlines. I hope this time that they're going to get the job done in the next 48 hours or so.
All right, we're going to leave it there. Bill, thank you so much. I know it's a busy time for you, no doubt. Bill Lockyear, California State Treasurer.